As part of Vivarana series, the next question is from the Indian society part. The question that has been asked in the Indian society is, why do large cities tend to attract more migrants than smaller towns? Discuss in the light of conditions in the developing countries. So the keywords which has been mentioned in this question is large cities tend to attract more migrants than smaller towns. In the developing countries, what are the conditions which are present, which are attracting them to the larger cities? The introduction which you can write is regarding what are the conditions that is making the developing countries to go to the migration. So you can draw the map pointing to show that what are the states in India, which are the source state, which are the destination states, which are attracting the migrants, which are sending the migrants. Like you can start with Jaipur, Delhi, Ahmedabad, Surat, Mumbai, Pune, then Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Kolkata. So these are the places where population density is also more, and these are the industrial centers where industries are already developed, where they move to the job opportunities. Now you can start the introduction by mentioning the conditions of the developing countries. What are the conditions of the developing countries? So here there is composite culture, where the people belonging to different religions, different castes stay together. That's why composite cultures we say. Then here there is technology which doesn't have any barriers, which can be changing with the changing times. Then here there are changing social norms. Changing social values, where people used to tend to change the caste or change the values they have along with the economic stability. Then along with this, then we have the conditions like urban slums present. So urban slums. Then there is changing the rural dynamics. That is making the conditions in developing country more attractive to move towards the urban areas from the rural areas. So now we have started with the conditions. Now the first part of the question we need to answer, why they are attracting more migrants, the larger cities than the smaller towns like tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities. So you can start with the data where internal migration in India, according to internal migration 2011 census, the internal migration in India is approximately 11 crore people. The 11 crore people obviously migrate from one smaller towns to the urban areas. That's where these things comes on. Now, what are the attractive factors of the urban areas and what are the push and pull factors when it comes to these things happening? Now we need to discuss what are the pull factors that is pulling the people to the urban areas. What are the pull factors? The pull factors is obviously you'll find better jobs. You will find better infrastructure, better social, physical infrastructure. Like you can quote the examples of Delhi, which is having AIIMS, which can provide better infrastructure for the health infrastructure. And we have so many universities like JNU, Delhi University, which is providing the education as well. Along with this, there are well-paying jobs, well-paying IT and IT-enabled services, which are the pull factors, which pulls the people towards the urban cities and better urban infrastructure, better water facility, better construction facilities, these better industries. These things are the pull factors. Now we go for the push factors. What is pushing the people from the smaller towns to the urban areas? When it comes to the push factors, then decline in the caste identities, People doesn't ask what is your caste when you're working in an industry. So these caste identities are getting reduced. Then second, there is more informal sector present, which provides a lot of job opportunities in these areas, which are informal sector things which are present. Then there is departure from social backwardness. Like if you are socially backward and people are looking at you as a Dalit. When you go to a city, there is no social backwardness that is present. Whoever have the skill, whoever have the education, they get the better opportunities. Along with this, for example, here there can be intra-caste marriages that can be supported. That can be happening based on the economic status. Intra-caste marriages can happen. Then what is the push? Again, the push factor. Then the local conflicts. Like if in the rural area, the local conflicts are happening, I don't want to stay in that area which is having the conflicts. Like for example, you can go for Kashmiri Pandits who have migrated to different areas. So these are the things that are leading to the push factors. They are trying to push. Then again, obviously the push factor for the woman is, for the specifically women, they move along with the husband. They move to the place, to the urban area along with the husband after the marriage. Yeah, the marriage is the thing which is making them to migrate. These are the push factors. Now, you have seen the industrial location, we have seen these things. Now, we need to quote some examples where these push factors are working out. Like better infrastructure, well-planned IT. For example, you have Jakarta in Indonesia, which is having a better infrastructure. Then we have departure from local conflicts. Kashmiri Pandits you have quoted. Now we need to conclude that Abdul Kalam idea. We have the Abdul Kalam ideas of Pura. Providing urban amenities in rural areas. If you try to provide the urban amenities in rural areas, and we need to go for sustainable urbanization. We need to go for. Then we need to go for connected cities and smart cities that can make the people to have a satisfied or ease of living. So it can lead to the ease of living in the better urban infrastructure. This is the conclusion which you can quote when you try to write answer to this question. So I think you have got the better answer to this question, and this one is done for you.